Hello everybody, Retrobeard here. How are you all doing? It's time for today's Q&A. It's Saturday. Before I get started, I want to say if you enjoy my content, please remember to like, subscribe, share, click the notification bell, share if your friends, if you think your friends or family may enjoy this. With all that said, let's get started. The first question is from Andy Davidson. He asks, how tall am I? What's my shoe size? And am I a briefs or boxers man? Well, that's an interesting question, my friend. A bit strange that you want to know so much about me, but I will happily answer because I know you're a bit of a friendly troll in a good sense. I am just over 5'10" tall, so not a particularly tall chap, not a particularly short chap. Just, you know, my shoe size is 9, so once again, nothing particularly remarkable, nothing particularly minute. It is what it is. And briefs or boxers, I'm a little bit disturbed that you'll notice about me, my friend, but I'm a boxers man because I like to be loose. I hate tight clothes. I like everything just to be flexible and loose, and that's flexible. That don't sound very good, does it? But you know what I mean. Free and... Anyway, this is disturbing, so I'm going to stop. So there's your answer, my friend. Great question, Andy. Keep them coming, my friend. You've got the best questions. The next question, anyway, the next question. Dark Entrax asks, what do I think about companies selling over and over again the same game, a bit like Pac-Man being on every single platform available? Well, I think this is a mixed bag. It can be good, it can be bad. When you find yourself buying Super Mario Brothers every single generation of Nintendo platform, for instance, it takes the mick. I feel modern platforms with accounts like you get now should automatically pass over your purchases onto the latest generation. And people say, oh no, you can't do that. Well, Xbox do it. When the Xbox 360 was in its heyday, I bought quite a few games and got quite a few games and games of gold. When the Xbox One came, all those games have been passing over for free, and I've got an immense catalogue of games. That is how you treat your customers. And although I don't have a Series X or a Series S yet, to my knowledge, all of that stuff passes over onto that, and that is how you do it. You've got an account, your purchases are your purchases, and if they're not yet compatible, when they are available, they should be yours. PlayStation, I think they do a halfway house method with this, like you pay a reduced amount or something crap. Nintendo, they're absolute devils, and hopefully with the Switch family of consoles, they're going to do this. They're going to be more like Xbox because, buying the same thing again and again. I mean, if you're on a different brand of console, fair enough. It's nice to have it on any platform, but when it's the same, it takes the mick. You wouldn't see the Play Store doing that, would you? You get a new phone or a new tablet, your games are waiting for you. So that's how I feel about that. Great question, Dark, as always, my friend. Cheers. Next question. Let's have a look. Excuse me. Chris Payne asks, do I ever wish I had written and developed a game myself? Awesome question, my friend, and I have an answer. To a degree, I actually have done that. I was quite an early adopter of the internet, at least for UK time zones. I was sort of about 97, 98, I got a Windows 95 PC. I started using America Online, or AOL as we called it, when I'm sure anybody of my age group remembers all the discs that were posted through the door and unmasked. We got spammed with the darn things. And I joined, and it used to be 3p a minute, or that's an equivalent of say 3 cents a minute, which was a damn expensive subscription model, but it was what it was for the time. And they had a game service with online games, and some of them were quite notable, like Warcraft, when it was an RTS game, and there was some first-person battle games and text-driven multi-user games, which were like online role-playing games, but you were playing with the text, like when you type "Go North," "Go East," "Pick up sword," that kind of thing. And I also discovered a ancestor of the MMORPG genre called Legends of Kesmai, or Kesmai, whatever. And it was a primitive by today's standards online RPG, but it was graphical and you could do all the core stuff. It was awesome. and I spent a lot of time and money in that game, and the game eventually was sold to Electronic Arts, who in their glory closed it down a year later and broke a lot of people's hearts, and to give us something to replace it, because the game had a very unique style. It was not like the games of today. It was an old-fashioned game, and it was a very addictive game. And me and some good friends who I met on the game, we ended up trying to make our own replacement for it, to honour it, and to also try and make a living for ourselves. Because the subscription model for games at that point were like, say, $9.99 a month. So we thought, we could replace it, give ourselves that void filled, and also make a living. So we got together as a band of rogues online, and also used to meet in real life, and we made this game. In my position in this team, being neither a programmer or particularly artistic, I was what they called the concept lead, and I was in charge of a few people, and I was given a game editor engine, and I made all the lands for the game single-handedly. Nobody else made a single inch of the game. I made all the lands, I made all the weapons, and all the weapons I tested and balanced them and designed the properties of how weapons would interact, like blocking and hitting. I did all the the story, the properties, the bosses. I pretty much ended up being an important position where I was telling the programmer what we needed, and I was telling the artist what we needed. I also was in charge of a lot of the community stuff on the forums, and it was magnificent, and we were almost ready to really get the work done. But then the guy the head programmer, who sort of was in charge of it all, basically, he disappeared. We found out later that he went and get a real job, or whatever you want to call it, and his missus didn't like him doing it, and he, rather than giving us the project to carry on, he sort of spitefully shelved it all, and to my knowledge destroyed it all and abandoned us. And I was pretty darn heartbroken for a while, and I was bitter towards him being young and stupid. And in the end we talked, and he told me his story, and I know I sort of forgave him, because grudges and hatred are not a particularly healthy thing to have. And in the end he still wouldn't restart the project or give us the stuff, so we sort of went our own ways, and whatever, that's his choice. But yeah, at the time I was devastated, because it was like my future was snatched off me. So I have been involved in game development, and part of a team, and an important role, and it was something that I put hundreds of hours into in my free time for a few years, and it amounted to nothing. So it took me a while to let go of it. I mean, now I'm fine with it, because life has opportunities, and sometimes you win them, sometimes you lose them, don't you? It's just the way it goes. So great question, my friend. I could go on and on about it, but I'll probably get boring. But I can always elaborate if people want to learn more about the project and what we did and how the game worked. I could talk about it for hours. So that could be another question, or that could be a stream conversation, whatever. That's the questions done. Thanks, guys. I'll be streaming on Sunday as usual, 5 o'clock GMT UK time. Everybody feel free to come along. It's great to chat and do what we do. And any game requests or any questions, just tell me, and I'll always try and honour them and fulfil them. So have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you on Sunday. Take care of yourselves. And once again, if anybody enjoys my content, please remember to like, subscribe, share, click the notification bell, leave me a comment. It's much appreciated. So and if you think anybody might enjoy my content, point them my way. You never know. So with all that said, I'm going to go now. This is RetroBeard signing off. Bye for now. See you later.